Yes, welcome everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Good evening.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, snow day.
Yep.
For some. Oh. Well, we're just going to make this a short and sweet one tonight. Just kind of wanted to hit up on the last spring shootout poll out in Waterloo, Iowa, and talk about Matt Larson's poll up in New Richmond, Wisconsin here coming up shortly. I hope you're all ready. We sure had a good time out in Waterloo, but
Yep, always do. It's kind of the first time we get to see a lot of the. For me, it's the first time we get to hang out with it. Some of the guys we run with all summer long. So, you Brandon, will see Larry and them down south, but that's the first time I get to hang out with Larry and a lot of them guys. So it's always fun.
Yep.
66% of our tractors drove back in the trailer, so we were above 50%.
There you go.
Apparently, me and Brandon were having a contest to see who could produce the worst pressure plate in a clutch. I think I won, but Brandon
you did
was
win.
second.
Yeah, you did win. Mine looked
I
that
didn't say
bad.
anything, but I saw that pass, and I'm sure that that wasn't good.
I've never had one come out in pieces, but that one did.
Yeah.
And I had to laugh. We were going to the hotel on Friday night, and Jonathan goes to me. He's like, the clutch is the only thing we didn't look at, Dad. I'm like, obviously. I'm like, thank you.
Yep.
That's funny.
But there's a new clutch in it. We made a couple changes. She'll be up in New Richmond.
Good deal. I know we really enjoy going down to Waterloo. And it's made such a big difference with that new dirt.
Oh,
this guy's doing a really good job.
It made a great difference and then caused them another problem, which is it's bringing more tractors, and now they're running out of room.
Yep.
But
someone said they had 300 hooks each day.
There was a lot.
There was.
I can't remember for sure right off the top of my head.
As far as I know, Travis, it's all good. It was all good.
Do you guys think it's going to come to where they're going to limit how many classes they can actually pull in?
I think they're going to have to limit something. You can only have such classes in, but even there, it's getting pretty late in the day already there. So I don't know.
Yep.
The weather that time of year plays such a factor too.
Yep.
You don't do that, man. You don't limit how many times a guy can pull, do you, Matt?
Nope.
Your event?
Nope. I'll take your money.
Oh, shoot.
I've been behind Rob Long a couple times at the sign in, and sheesh, 3 tractors, 7 classes. It's like, holy God.
Oh yeah.
But
yep. They weren't the leader in the hook count this year either, but there's some guys that bring a lot of stuff and hook a lot of times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the opposite. We're coming up. It's one hook each day for each tractor. We typically don't hook them twice.
Yep. There's a lot of guys who do that too. So
it's all how busy
whatever you're comfortable with. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, they are talking about new fairgrounds there. And I'm trying to think. I talked to Rob about that, and I think Rob said they were going to be able to, if they go off the blueprints, they can have a 300-foot track in there.
That's what I heard.
Is what he said.
Yeah, so that's going to get a lot more pit action in there too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Should be awesome for them guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoops.
Overall, the weather ended up being better than I thought it was going to be in Waterloo. The forecast was looking like it was going to be pretty crappy, but it ended up not being too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. It's always nice when they can have the doors open. Otherwise, it gets pretty gnarly in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice if you can have a few tractors outside and not have to worry about if it's too cold, everybody wants to get in and get their oil warmed up and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just no room. And if there's just warm enough outside that some of us can go out there and let everybody else have a little more room.
Mhm. But no, overall, good time down in Waterloo. Rose mentioned that she used the wrong brake to try to bring it back into bounds and just went out of bounds even quicker. So
That happens.
that worked.
Yep. Last thing I always say to Megan, touch the brake in the direction you want to go.
Huh?
No, that is for sure.
No, it looked like it was a good time. I watched
Uh,
you guys' live stream from there. Of course, we don't have anything that can pull there, but was going to go and ended up finding a cracked flywheel or flex plate and all that. So we worked on mini rods all weekend.
Yep.
And the wonderful cleaning, it's what I spend more time cleaning them than we do running them, I think. But we're going to suck
the only way
going
to
down
keep
the
them
track
clean, I
and look like sucking. Ain't that right? Yeah. Just make me a sandwich.
Oh, this will go over good.
yeah. I see him catch one to the face here pretty quick.
Yeah. When you see the frying pan fly through, Chuck is gone. Make your own sandwich.
No, Al, to your comment, we know you guys are doing everything you can with what you've got. And like I said, the new dirt last year made a huge difference, and we all really appreciate that.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
understand you guys are limited on room.
Yep. No, it's a great venue, though. Great people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do have to say, following, the 4-cylinder guys around to these indoor, you guys have just a huge draw, which is awesome to see. I'm not into them, but it's very cool with, Brandon and Ed and the Martins and Travis. Very, very, very cool to see. And of course, you got Beer Money coming down, doing a good job, whether it's Liberty or Waterloo or Powderly, they kind of come down and all of it. And we'll talk about Matt's events coming up that I think it's a great thing. We take just as much as pride in all of our stuff, whether we're brush pullers or not, than, wow. Number one again. I love it.
Gotta be number
To your
one.
point, Chuck, I'm going to say something with the 4-cylinders, like the automotive class or that 1450 class, the 1400-pound classes. The variety of engines and engine combinations you see is amazing. They're not all one brand. They're not all one setup. Turbos, superchargers, naturally aspirated bike motors, and they're all running against each other. And a lot of them guys are all competitive too. So you get to see a little bit of everything.
He's gonna be hungry.
I thought he was ducking there for a second.
I was ducking. I wasn't sure what was coming through the door.
Oh,
But no, that's, it's just never ending, in that open class, whether it's the 1400 or 1450, I'm not sure. It's amazing what these guys are doing with them nowadays, with the fuel injection and, you take some of these guys, you're like, that's too much work. Jim Vesper, man, what a screaming vehicles. I've seen him, put some V8s to shame in that, that 1850 class that they run down south. It's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty neat. For sure. Well, Matt, we'll get on to your pull up there, so you can get going if you need to. I know you're pretty busy, so.
Yeah, my phone's been going crazy all day. Lots of stuff getting ready, and but we'll be up at the arena tomorrow. The track crew showed up today. Actually, they've been there since noon, and hanging out, and they just headed to the casino. So hopefully they don't have too much fun tonight. And then, we'll get started in the morning, but So if you want to drop your trailer off, you can drop your trailer off tomorrow anytime afternoon. We can't get into the building until 3 o'clock on Thursday. We'll do tech from 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock on Thursday, and then around 7 or so we'll do some test hooks. I think we've got 6 or 8 signed up, so we'll get those knocked out, and then Friday morning we'll be back doing tech from 7 to 9, and we'll start pulling at 10 o'clock in the morning and go until we're done. So if you can't make it there and you want to watch it, you'll be able to watch it on Full Pull Live on YouTube or Facebook both days. And if you're going to come up to the event and watch, it's $10 a person to get in, or $20 for a pit pass per day. And we'll get you in and get you signed up or go from there. We've got our pre-entries are way up from what they were last year, so we're really excited. We're going to have a great show regardless. We've got a couple of big block, big tire guys, naturally aspirated. They're going to come make a couple hooks. So we've got everything from stock youth 14-horse garden tractor up to just below, an NTPA mini rod. So it's going to be a heck of a show.
Hey, Matt, a quick question I've been asked. Is there electricity in the building?
So there is electricity in the building. The building, there's poles that support the middle pole has electricity on it. There's a power box, and we give about 15 feet on either side of that poles to the diesels, so they don't have, and so they plug in there. But if you can find a plug-in in that pole, you can run a cord to wherever you're pitted, or if in the tech area, there's outlets every 5 or 10 feet. And if you want to stay in the tech area and be plugged in, whether that's for oil heaters or battery chargers or whatever, you're welcome to do that, and then roll into the arena when you're ready to pull. So
I know you're laughing at, Brandon.
Do you kind of try and stage in your pit areas, mini rods, 4 cylinders, garden tractors, or is it just first come, first serve, and that's
first come, first serve? It's kind of a free for all. We don't have the people to police that, and there's guys there that want to pit with their buddies, and they may have mini rods and super mods or super mods and garden tractors and all that. So it's big enough. I think we're gonna fill it up, but this weekend, but it's big enough. You should have plenty of room to move around and have your stuff. And the only time that we stage is when we're going to the line or going to pull. So we do it similar to what they do down in Waterloo, where the scale is near the track, and then we try to only get 3 to 5 tractors across the scale ready to go to the track. So it works pretty good. They're trying to talk me into moving it farther away to get a few more across, but I want to have less across. So we'll see how that shakes out. I guess I don't have a strong opinion either way, as long as it is a smooth transition from the scale to the track. So
my biggest thing is with seeing these indoor port is we've got to get the numbers to where we can see it. Some people have it on their tack that they're looking at. I know everybody, get it on the front, and hey, let's go in order. If you're number 25, don't be up at the scale.
So we'll on the Wisconsin scale, the girls that run that one are pretty good. They don't let you get out of order very often. And then we've got 3 guys that I'm going to put on the dirt flinger scale that are going to be tasked with the same objective. They won't always be there, because some of them are pullers and some of them will have other responsibilities at different times. But they will try to keep everybody in order and go from there.
Are the big blocks just running exhibition, Matt, or they?
Yeah, the 2 big blocks that are coming to run exhibition. They'll run probably after the King of the Hill. We'll keep them separate because we're gonna have to do a sled change for those guys.
Yep.
So, yeah.
The
I had a-
guys from up New York.
No, well, one of the guys from Massachusetts called me this week and wanted to know if he could come, and I said we'd love to have you. So I reached out to some other guys trying to get him have a class, and then the Massachusetts guy had something come up and had to bail on us. But the other two guys decided they wanted to come and have some fun, so we're going to let them hook, and we'll talk to them about how we're going to work that when we get there. But they'll probably be the last class of the day after the King of the Hill, and so. If we run the King of the Hill, if we're going to do the big blocks afterwards, if you were the first hook in the King of the Hill and you decide to turn it down, you would come back before the big blocks. And then once we've got that class done, we're probably gonna have to make a sled change because last year there was 3 of those big blocks and we stopped 2 out of the 3, but the one guy got to the sand pile every time, and we're going to try and keep him just off the sand pile if we can.
Sure.
With your lineups each day, do you flip them for the second day, or you run them the same both?
No, they're not flipped, but they're not the same.
Okay.
I do have them kind of laid out where I think they're going to be, but they're not. We did some shuffling this year. Some guys didn't want to be last, and unfortunately, somebody's always got to be last. So.
I don't want to be first. I don't want to be there that early.
You're not the first one that told me that today either.
No.
But so yeah, I'd have to look here.
From what
I had.
from what you sent me, I'm 1, 4, 6, and 10.
It sounds like you're number 1.
I said so.
Yeah, I don't remember what I sent you, but yeah, I can look and see what the first class is each day.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, Friday on the mini rod sled, we're going to start with the 1,800-pound open 34-inch tire class. And then on the Wisconsin sled, we're going to start with the 1050 stock class. The 1,300 open, 4-cylinder open will be the second class of the day on the Wisconsin sled.
Okay.
So we try to juggle them around so that everybody has plenty of cool down time. It's probably not as big a deal with the motorcycle tractors and the 4-cylinders, but most of those guys have cooling packages, but I don't want anybody to have to run back to back if we can avoid it and have to worry about hurting anybody's motor. So we do everything we can to space everybody out. And, the more classes you run, the harder it is to do. Yep. And so, the sled guys don't like the way I run it either because we're going up and down and up and down. So we're always putting weight in or taking weight out for every class change, but it's the only way that we can run a show. If you have to run bottom to top, or even, and then you could flip it the next day and run top to bottom, you're going to run, mini rods are going to be running back to back because there's guys that are pulling in both 1,800 classes or an 1,800 and a 1950. And so if you're doing that class jumping, there's just not enough cool down time. So, so we try to spread it out as much as we can.
Very understandable.
Yep.
Works good.
Yeah.
Do you have much of it?
What? Go ahead.
Brent.
I was going to say it puts on a heck of a show throughout the day because there's always something moving all the time, either fast, and then you got the the slower tractors maybe on one side, but there's always something flying. It puts on a heck of a show.
Yep. I think I didn't officially do a time study last year, but we had something going down. It was less than 2 minutes in between every hook. So
Nice.
yeah.
Probably a little harder with the live stream running 2 tracks, to get everything on, but I'm not sure how they're going to set up or if they're going to have 2 announcers or what they're going to do, but
Yeah, so I think just because it's only on Facebook and YouTube, they're basically just going to put a camera at the end of each track, and so I don't know that there'll be an announcer. There'll be our announcer probably over the PA system is what you'll hear, but I don't know. We haven't I guess we didn't really dig deep into that side of it. So
Just cool. They're going to be there doing it.
Yep.
It usually ends up with quite a few photographers and videographers. I mean, a couple of videographers and stuff anyway. So that's always cool. There's a lot of.
Yep, and I think everybody
pictures
we've had in the past is coming back, and a couple more this year. I invite everybody that if I meet them and they take pictures or they do video, I invite them to come. We want everybody to come. And one thing that I'm working on, I haven't sprung this on my website lady yet, but next year we have a sponsor page where you can go and see all the sponsors, and we've got some of the photographers on there. But I want to change over and have a dedicated media page, so every photographer that's there will have a link to their website or Facebook page, so they can get enough. I feel like we don't do enough for these guys. We give Ron quite a bit of love, but there's other guys out there that we owe quite a bit to as well, and we probably don't do them enough justice. So that's my goal, and I'm going to try to do that here in April and May. So we're not going to wait till next year. We're going to try and get that going right away. So
sure.
Yeah. I mean, for most of them guys that let you use their photos for nothing and stuff like that, that's huge. They all.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And good quality pictures too.
Yeah. Yep.
Clear. I mean, there's some darn good clear pictures for what's going on in that building. I mean, some of the time, not so much maybe yours, Matt, but some of the other ones, there's some haze going on and everything else. And, man, they can get some good clear pictures.
Yep.
You got real good ventilate. One of the best ventilated places there is that we pull indoors is New Richmond. I mean, they can suck the fumes out of there pretty nice.
So I was just talking with my guys today about it. Last couple of years, we've tried to kind of turn it on and off as we go through the day. We're just going to let it run this year, unless it gets too cold in there. But it just everyone, you get Scalzo fires up his diesel, and we forget to turn it on, and then it doesn't. It takes an extra 5 minutes to clear it out, and most of the diesel guys don't smoke bad enough that it makes a big difference. But some of those guys running 2-strokes make more smoke than the diesels. So
hey,
whoa!
Come on now,
Two-stroke
guys.
I think you guys did a great job with the parking last year. You kept everybody fairly tight. That was great.
Yep.
Do you think with this snow and everything, it's going to be still dry enough to go up top?
I sure hope so.
I'll
know tomorrow.
We talked about a few of us just going up there anyway, just to get out of the way. I don't know, just to make it easier.
170-foot long, for Christ's sakes.
Well, yeah.
Between you and Travis.
And Kyle. And Larry.
Yep.
I'll go up there. I'll go up there tomorrow afternoon and just walk around and see what it feels like, and
sure.
And maybe do a live or something, or report back on what we find up there, because we're going to need to know that anyways. So
sure.
Yep.
No, just make it a little less congested is all we were thinking, And
And they're not racing, so we have a little bit more room where you guys were all parked last year.
Sure.
Last year they cut us off, and we probably lost 100 feet of parking up there because of their gates, and so we can since they're not going to race, they canceled the races for the weekend today, so we'll have a little bit more room there. But we had guys that wanted to be along that driveway, kind of down there, and that'll be open again now this year. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Nope, that'll open it up too some, but.
Yep.
Anybody that's got any questions for Matt, go ahead and put them in the comments if you do have anything you want to ask him.
Yeah.
Like
I know Chuck probably won't pass tech or anything, so they're pretty extensive up there with their tech. So you got to really start to get nervous now. Make sure you check everything.
Just take it in the back door.
We bring a lift in and we put it up in the air and go underneath and check all the shielding and count the flywheel teeth and everything. So
nice Raider. The dog.
No, our tech process is pretty similar to Waterloo. You know, our main concern in tech is safety equipment.
Yep. No,
Yep.
you guys do a great job, and you do what need to be done. And I was just giving Chuck crap to get him nervous about coming up.
Wouldn't be the
I know
first time.
you can pass Tri-County. You're good to go anywhere. So I know they're pretty extensive on all their stuff. So
Yep. Unless you go, I've been to some where there's what's the thing with the mini rods, and Matt has probably seen this too. If something happens on the Grand National level, it all trickles down to us brush pulling, which we're not 3,000 horse. And I get safety, but there's some of this stuff is a little out of control. But all the way down. I was at one organization, and they now want your kill switch to swivel.
Yep.
So if you get sideways, the kill switch will swivel.
Okay.
I don't think that's
that's a little tough to do, but
Yep.
We're in 2025 now, and we're still talking about kill switches with Tri-County on, zip tied or not zip tied, 1 wrap of tape versus 15 wraps of tape. And, there's some kill switches out there now that are pretty inexpensive, that are pretty simple.
Oh, yes.
Me personally, let's get away from the extension cord plugs. Let's put a kill switch on it. But the Red Valley one is really simple that John England makes. I bought 2 of them, and that's what I used to run the old breakaway trailer thing plugs, and there's organizations that don't like them. So I went with Red Valley's pin style, and it seems to be fine. It's,
Sure.
all you're doing is breaking the ground.
Yep.
So
after Waterloo, I put new kill switches on everything of ours because my kill switch fell out. I had a good pass going, and my kill switch fell out. But I went with a little fancier one, and it's got the built-in zip tie holder, and I really like that style. It's not quite as big as the Red Valley one, but
sure.
And see, we went away from nothing holding the kill switch. There's no zip ties, no anything, So with Tri-County, because there was such a deal with zip ties, will it break, won't it break? One guy was wrapping black tape around, 25 wraps around it. Well, it's not going to pull out. It's come on, guys. But
then you want the extension cord so you can rip the cord out of it instead of the plug.
Exactly. You can take the whole wiring harness out of the whole tractor.
Right.
But
when the starter comes out with it.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Matt. Safety, I know you guys have got your roll cage X-ray machine. You're going to go up, so make sure all the roll cages are at the right thickness.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've had a couple people we've had to send to town and have them buy some sheet metal or something, and I probably should have thrown a couple pieces in the trailer when I sent it to New Richmond this morning. But if you don't have the shielding on the side of your motor or something like that, we're gonna make you do something. I mean, whether go down to Menards and get some plywood, put it on there, just so that if the rods come out,
We got Larry thinking now.
Yep.
Don't worry, Kyle built it right.
But yeah.
How long a track will you have, Matt?
The mini rod track will be about 265, and the if I remember right, the Wisconsin track was about 255, 260.
Nice.
Yep. That sounds right.
So, and the whole arena's flat, just like it was last year. So,
awesome.
We got a big roller coming tomorrow, and we'll roll that whole thing 2 or 3 times, and you'll be able to push your tractor around real nice. So
that makes it real nice.
Yep.
It's amazing what it goes from to this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Last week there was dips in it 20 feet deep and jumps 20 feet high, and now it's completely flat. So
Do you have to
We
put
were
that
down
on
there
that
looking
package?
at some stuff, and I was going to post a video of it, and Andy talked me out of it. He said people will freak out if they see the video.
Very cool. No, we're excited. We're excited. You know, people are excited around us that it's going to be live streamed. No matter what caliber of live stream it is, I think that's really helping across the board from what Brandon and you guys do. Just let it run. They can kind of see it. Yeah, there's no announcers or stuff like that, but people see what's going on. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're gonna have your critics, and you know there's still going all over Facebook when the slaws are firing up their mini rod about safety and this and that and the other. It's people that don't have a clue. You know, we're some of the safest sports. You don't very rarely hear anybody getting hurt in a pulling tractor. You know,
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
There's been some pretty catastrophic failures, and people are still not getting hurt. So
Mhm.
they do quite a bit to keep everybody safe, and we do too. You know, and
Yep.
we've talked about it before. You know, and it's you go from being in a cage to not being in a cage. I ran Danny's case tractor last year, and it's like, man, I don't feel right. Not sitting in the cage, you know, you just don't, I don't know. You just feel different, you know, and just a different whole realm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know when the cages were coming up, you know, through some of the 4-cylinder classes and stuff like, and it turned into a weight thing too.
Oh, sure.
So
Oh, yeah.
you got to take that in consideration.
Yep.
I build my cages really, really tight because then they weigh a little bit less. Also, I don't move as much if
Mhm.
things go bad, you know.
Yep.
Freedom.
Hey man, I want to give you a big kudos too, man. You've got a lot of support. I've seen you've been showing your sponsors and stuff. Kudos to
Yeah.
you. Kudos to everybody that's helping you, your whole team, your daughter. I know she does a lot
Yeah.
with your social media and everything. Kudos to them. You know, just all around kudos to you. You know, you put on a very well run event. Like I said, this would be our first time, but just talking to other people, Brandon and Ed and everybody, and it isn't as easy as what people, you know, throwing an ad out there, and you know if they
Yep.
build it,
No.
they will kill them.
Right.
So
It's definitely not easy, and it's definitely not a one man show, like you said. Tara does almost. She probably does 99% of our social media stuff, and she probably is sick of me about now because every time I got a new sponsor, I need to do this or do that, and
Uh-huh.
you know. But we've also got a ton of help behind the scenes, helping with the website and registration rules. Our track crew is amazing, so. You know, it's definitely not a one-man show. But if you got a problem, then it is. Come talk to me, and we'll solve it. If I catch somebody chewing on one of my other people, we're gonna.
right, yeah, there's no place for that, and you know,
Yep.
tempers seem to flare once in a while, but you know, we're there. Bottom line, we're not there to get rich. We're there to have a good time,
Yep.
and promote the sport. That's awesome having the kids classes, all the way up to, your 700-800 horse mini rods. So
Yep.
Ricky Thurby, how you doing, old Ricky Bobby? Yeah, we know, Trent, you don't want to get your new trailer dirty. We've heard.
I believe he got that just after New Richmond last year because he was parked
Yeah.
right next to me.
I was gonna troll him that I probably could find a sponsor that would buy him a car wash when he got to New Richmond and when he got home, but I decided I probably better just let her be. You know.
Throw a little can in front of his 3 mini rods, and so he can have enough quarters to wash the trailer. When
Yeah.
we had quite the experience coming back from Liberty. I had a flat tire down in Liberty, so I ended up getting 4 new tires down there, or only put 1 on, but brought 3 new ones home. Went to get the other 3 down. I had 2 broken leaf springs on the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's just
We came back from Liberty in 2020, right before COVID hit. We were driving home and we got to about Champaign, I think, Illinois, and I told the guy that was driving, I says, "We got to stop. I'm done. He was driving, but I says, we got to stop. And so we pull into the hotel parking lot, and I said, and it was my truck and trailer. I said, did you hit the curb with my brand new trailer? No, I didn't. And so, and I was half asleep already. This was 1 or 2 in the morning. And I started walking to the hotel, and I just kind of looked back like that. And I turned around and went back, and I said, we're missing a tire on this side of the trailer.
Oh no!
So, and we had just stopped and gotten fuel. It couldn't have been 10 or 15 minutes before that. So it had to be there. We just lost it. And there was a cop that drove through. I think he would have said something if we were missing a tire. But so we got to do a little searching the next morning and get the trailer put back together. And there was a bolt missing from the leaf spring also.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow. On a brand new trailer.
yeah, the adventures of driving all over tractor pulling.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, I know we talked about Liberty in the past, but you know, kudos to Adam Montgomery and you know putting that on a 2-day event. I think he was pretty nervous about doing it, and you know did the full 2 shows both days very well run event. You know.
Yep.
I know there's a lot of people asking when's the next one in Liberty. Well, we'll see in March. You know,
Right.
As far as I know, that's the only time I go down.
Yep.
But no, now we're clear up to April Fool's Day, and
Yep.
hope nobody got
Yep.
tricked too bad. My boss called or texted me at 4:30 in the morning, said he wasn't being in, that they were going to have a baby today, so they had a bouncing little 8-pound boy this afternoon. So congratulations to Jared and Mary Sue on their second son. So
Cool.
Good for them.
right before planting season, so it was pretty funny. Brandon, you'll like this. We were getting a Haggie ready, and he was looking at the seat and wanted to know how hard it was for me to take the buddy seat out of the Haggie, and they were getting a new car seat
Oh,
mounted in there. So his other boy, so he could take one of the kids away from his wife for a while.
Yep.
So he's gonna put a
Yep.
car seat right in the Haggie. Whatever you want to do.
that'll be tight.
Yeah.
Then getting in and out of the door will be fun.
Yeah.
You know,
That's why he wants to take-
You don't ever break a nozzle or anything when that situation's going on. So
No, absolutely not. So, but no, Matt. Anything else? We all know that the online registration's done.
Yep,
Hopefully,
no.
you get everybody's in. Registration opens at what time on Friday and Saturday?
Friday and Saturday from 7 to 9.
7 to
Yep.
9.
3 on Thursday, right?
And Thursday from 3 to 7.
Okay.
Oh, you got registration on Thursday as well. So 3 to 7.
Yep.
Cool. No, we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good time.
Mhm.
Several guys coming from the Tri-County way and the Dirt Flingers way. So, and unfortunately, there's been a few guys that didn't get engines back and stuff like that in time.
Yep.
Our good buddy Daryl Mueller's been waiting on a cam since Powderly, when he got back from Powderly. He said it's going to be shipped out on Friday. I said, well, get it in, get it. You got all day Saturday to get up there. So,
Right.
Matt, question for you there. You're going to have the live results on the internet again this year?
It all depends on if the guy that does all my internet stuff is there. It probably won't be as fast as it's been in the past, but I don't know. Because we're running the whole event on paper. If you were there the first year that I ran it, we tried to run everything on the internet, and it went bad, really bad. And we delayed the start by an hour at least, and I said I will never do that again. So we run the event on paper so that no matter what happens technology-wise, we're a ballpoint pen away from being ready to go.
Yep.
And so once the class gets done, then the girls will check it, and then my wife Becky will do the payout for it. And once the class is posted, there's a kind of a area by the concessions.
Yep.
Where we go into the concessions, we post the results there. And so once those results are posted, then the payouts will be done. That means the payouts are ready for that class. And then at that time, then we'll give it to Matt, who's our one of our internet guys, and he'll enter the information into the onto the website. So it may not be as fast as it was intended to be originally, but they will be updated at some point.
Cool. And for those that haven't been there before, just watching or competing, the concession area is a pretty cool spot because you can sit at the windows and they are right within 20 feet of the end of the track. The tractors are coming right at you, and it's pretty cool. You're level right with them, and
Very cool.
and it's it's warm in there. It's a little cooler out usually where the pit area is and that. So it's warm in there. You can hear the announcer real good, and if you just want to get away from a little bit of noise once in a while, just so you can talk or whatever. But that is a nice area to go sit.
Yep.
Good.
And we have and we redid the whole redid the whole sound system this year. We're gonna be setting that up tomorrow. So we're gonna have it sounds like 8 speakers in the pits now, 1,000 watts each, I think. So 8,000 watts in the pits, and then we're also gonna tie into the whole building, so that has speakers all along the grandstands and in the concession area. So we're really excited about that. One of the biggest problems that we've had in the past is when you're down by the scales or the sleds, you can't hear anything. And so I want to be having people telling me I got to turn it down this year. So
sure,
we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah. So
Matt, how late are you good with people dropping trailers on Thursday night?
You can drop all night. Yeah, we have the track crew and myself are on site 24/7, starting at noon today. So just drop your trailer and go to your hotel if you want, or on Thursday night, if you need to get into the building, you may have to come knock on my door and my RV, and I'll get you in the building. So we've had guys before that want to, get in the building if they're pulling on Friday and get as much heat in their tractor as they can. So there's a little more heat in the tech area than there is in the arena, but we've got plenty of room and we'll get you in.
No, sounds good. Just make sure if you do come in late, you try to park fairly close to the next guy beside you, just to keep everybody good, And
I mean, if we get up in the morning and somebody's got 20 feet, we're going to make you move, and we've got equipment to move you if you don't move. So
I just want to be able to get my side door open. That's
yep.
the only thing
That's probably the biggest problem that some guys have is if you've got a 36 or 48 inch side door, then you got to be that far away apart, and so some guys get a little excited because they didn't park as close as I did. Well, he's got a wider door, and as much as I want to tell you to park 2 feet apart no matter what, I understand. I've been in that, and I don't want you banging your side door on the other guy's trailer, because if you did that to my trailer, I wouldn't be very happy. So,
right,
it is what it is. We park as close as we can, and
we are still all adults, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Most of us.
I didn't say we all act like
adults or act like an adult.
Yeah, and we've never had a lot of problems. So
no.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else want to think, Matt? I know you kind of huge sponsored list. I know you probably can't go through all of them, but
yeah, I avoid going through the sponsor list because I will forget somebody or won't do somebody the justice. So we'll have we've got a big banner we made this year with all the sponsors on it. At least the sponsors. There's 2 sponsors that didn't make it because they came in late. So we'll announce those over the weekend, and they'll probably have banners hanging up. But or if you go to our website, we've got links to all the sponsors on our website to their websites. And so that's the best way. Everything you should need from us is on the website. And if you can't find what you need, send me a Facebook message or email through the website, and we'll get you squared away.
No, it sounds great.
Running the whole pull and everything. How many times you pulling this weekend?
I'm hoping to sit in my mini rod one time. I'm going to let Tara drive it forward, but I'm hoping to run the combo class. We'll see. I ordered fuel a month ago, and then they said they didn't have any, so I think I've got it squared away. They'll have fuel now, but the guy was supposed to call me an hour ago, and now I still haven't gotten that call.
I seen you put a post on fuel. Do you need fuel? Do you want me to bring extra fuel? What do you got going there, Matt?
No, I'll have it squared away. But
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we got it squared away. So,
Okay.
but I plan to only drive my tractor once. So
You don't have what he needs.
huh?
You don't have the special stuff that he needs, so just give
I
it.
usually make my own fuel, actually, and I'm out of. I need to go get a barrel, and I tried to order that about 6 weeks ago, and they weren't going to have any until the week before Waterloo, and I'm just too busy right now. So we're going to go get a barrel of that, some of that stuff, and then we'll start making our own here in May.
Sure.
Wow. Will that pass the water test?
Yes, sir.
Oh shoot. Well, I didn't have anything else. I can't wait to see you guys all up there.
Yep. We're planning on getting. I'm going to try to be up there by 5:00 on Thursday, but we'll see how everything goes at the shot.
Yeah, we're gonna take off Thursday morning, so it's about it'll probably be about 6 hours by the time we get up there. So 6, 7.
Cool. Well, we look forward to seeing everybody. And
again, we want to thank you, Matt. Hopefully you can not have to worry about people coming bending your ear all weekend long, and we just have a smooth sailing and have a good time.
Yeah, this is the 5th year of our event and the 4th year that I've been kind of heading it up, and I feel like we know what we're doing now, and it's not as I'm not running around as much with a chicken with my head cut off. So I think we'll be in good shape.
Awesome. Well, again, we appreciate you all the time and effort it takes. It's basically a whole year thing for you. Once you're done on Saturday night, on Monday you're planning for next year already. So you might be bending your ear. I'm thinking about having a mini rod, maybe some open 4 cylinders, maybe in October, but we'll have to see. Might be in 26. So I'm looking to do an all mini rod event.
Yep. No, and I gotta throw I've talked to Adam Montgomery, and it's been a few years since I talked to Adam, but I talk to the Longs regularly, and when I have a question, I just text Scott or whoever, or give them a call, and we work together, and so it's nice to be able to work together with all these other events and bounce ideas off, or
what works and what doesn't. Like I said, with that 4-cylinder class, with the 1350, 1400, 1450, is it with the draws you're having to pretty soon do you just we're going to have the 1350 and 1450, it's because it's all the same tractors or whatever. But no, like you said, if you want to run them, bring them. If you can't find a class or two to run with your whole variety of stuff, like we've talked before, you and I, Matt, you can't make everybody happy. I'm not going to complain that we're running 410, 415, whatever it is. Stay home then. That's my whole attitude of it. We're bringing a 235 cubic inch V6 to run with whatever. We do it all over. When the day comes that it can't compete, we'll just leave it at home. Not interested on it. But no, it's really cool what you're trying to do, trying to get everybody. When you've got the dirt flingers in Tri-County and everybody's got just a little bit different rules. Got a stuff at the beach for your birthday, Brandon? Is that?
Yeah.
Chandler's got a challenge out for you.
Yeah. I will do my best to probably not get there. But I'm usually my own worst enemy.
Someday, one of the things that I always wanted to have was, I've wanted this since the first we started this event, is if you get to the beach, I wanted you to get a beach towel with, but I haven't gotten that done yet. So maybe next year.
That's kind of like Utica, Wisconsin there. The kind of unwritten goal is to make it to the cornfield.
Yeah.
Well, back in 23, when Megan went into the cornfield, she actually still has a piece of husk taped on her steering wheel.
Oh, cool.
From the cornfield. Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know, you guys have probably seen it. I shared that. That was a 2023 video that I shared. They're on our Facebook page. It's got 275,000 views in a week.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, so people are out there interested in what we're doing. I mean, yeah, you're going to have the naysayers on, you know, oh, you got helmet and everything else on, but you don't have gloves on. You know, you hear it all, but you know,
Yep.
is what it is. So, but no, I think tractor pulling is going in the right direction. I think what's not helping is the expense. You know, there's some classes that are, you know, he with the most money is going to win, but hey, we just keep doing what we're doing, and you know, with PPL and some of them guys picking up the small block mini rod classes, and you know, down the Mid-South guys have some naturally aspirated classes, so they're drawing in. You know, someone just told me, Brandon, that you guys are going to be in Utica on Thursday night, Utica, Wisconsin, Thursday night.
Haven't heard a
Is that
confirmation on that. They were supposed to decide there, I think maybe last week or something, but haven't heard back from John yet on it if it's a go. But that's the talk.
Yeah. So I mean, but on the same hand, we've got to get these down to a 3-hour show or something, you know.
Right.
Instead of,
Right.
you know, when we're going New Richmond, Powderly, Liberty, you know, it's just going to be a huge turnout because people want to go pulling. But when we start doing our summer stuff, you know, we can't.
Right.
Yeah, that's a totally different deal.
You're doing it for an audience. You're hired to put on a show. You're not hired to pull. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, you got to keep an audience entertained, but yet not get lengthy. Yep. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, well, Matt, again, I'm excited to come up and see you. I won't try to bother you too much. When we get up there, you know me, I always like to talk to everybody and wander around. And most of the time I have a wife with me. I don't know if she's with me, but she's with me. You know, she knows what I do. And she'll probably try to live stream, but the way it sounds, the internet's not the best in there. So we'll figure something out. I got some plans for our Facebook page and you know, I've been trying to promote your event as much as I can off of it. And, do the sharing, and V6 is looking to come up and make some V8s mad. How about that?
There you go.
Yep. It runs good.
Next year, don't be surprised. I see that turbocharged class you got. We might have a V6 with a turbocharger on it. You never know.
There you go.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks everybody. I do appreciate it coming on tonight. I know it was kind of last minute, but we wanted to kind of help you promote this a little bit more and
Appreciate it.
And just answer some questions maybe some guys had. But other than that, I think we're all just excited to get up there and have a good time.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, see if I can get all mine to drive back in the trailer.
There you go.
Be all right.
You'll be fine.
Matt, Brandon, it was good seeing you guys on a Tuesday night. Everybody be safe. Try to get a little bit of sleep, and hope everybody's vehicle's running good.
Yep. See you guys Thursday.
Drive safe, everybody.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
We'll see you.